Ladies and gentlemen, this is Brian Power reporting semi-live from the Brian teaser. Folks, thank you for joining the show today. I have with me a very special guest star, Maitrik Patel.
Hey
Welcome.
folks, this is Maitrik. I work with Brian, and this is my second outing with Brian here on this show. So it's my
Technically,
pleasure to be here.
technically, it was a different show known as the Brianathon. Cue footage.
Excuse me, sir! Sir!
English, no English. Hindi, it's Hindi.
What?
You not get the news? It's Santa's quarter century sabbatical. Everybody knows that.
Do you remember that when we were you were in the Christmas special, and
Right.
well, and several other episodes too. He used to run with me for a while. But yeah, we're here on a different show called the Brian Teaser. Today we're gonna deviate from the norm a little bit and try something a little more serious. So let me tell a little story real quick first, and then we'll segue into the questions. So I work with Maitrik, or do you prefer Maitrik? Because we like to enter the matrix around here quite frequently. Anyway, okay. That's as far as it's gonna go for teasing, right? This is like we got jokes, but we're gonna be serious. Let's be serious. All right. So the other day I was with some coworkers and we stumbled across a review, a Google review for like I think a local restaurant, and we're like, Matrix, what? And it didn't look like just like your average review. It was like, oh, just like some random review. But we ended up clicking, and then we clicked and we clicked and clicked, and the next thing you know, it's like he's got like 16, 20, 30, 50. Who knows? I don't even know how many reviews he has, but he's got a bunch of Google reviews, and he has like status and everything. So that's what we're here to talk about, because I think it's really interesting, and I think people would like to know about it. So tell me, how did you get into this?
So yeah, reviews is basically everything we do nowadays is based on the reviews that I use a lot in terms of the whether we go to the restaurant to eat something, or whether we buy something online, or whether we go for a hike or for traveling, if you go to the any park or things like that. So basically, yeah, I basically we search on the Google, and then Google has the reviews, and I find them very interesting and useful. Not all of them, but that's where I started it from, and then I go to the places, and then Google basically track me everywhere I go, and then later on ask me, hey, how was this and how was that, and basically I started sharing my experience, and then I kind of like it, and so I started doing more and more, and I get to the point basically now where every restaurant that I go to, not every restaurant, but the restaurant that I go to, and then either I'm eating the lunch or dinner, I take a picture of the plate first, and then keep the Google reviews in mind, and then put it on the review with the picture, because picture helps a lot in terms of the food and also other things as well. So yeah, that's how we started, and I am enjoying it, and it's part of a basically I get the help from the review that other people has posted based on their experience. So it's kind of I'm kind of passing it on, and then I'm sharing my experience with other people who are looking for or are kind of in a similar situation. So basically, yeah, whenever I write the review, I basically do not do the random thing. But I try to make it specific to what exactly I like and why, and what was my expectation, and then so and there are a couple of examples to that. So like if you go to the hike, and there was like a lateral falls has a couple of hikes, and there's an upper fall and there's a lower fall. So upper fall hike is like 1 mile hike climbing up, and the lower fall hike is like just 5 minute walk, easy hike. So it's basically the hikes are kids friendly or not, and people with the stroller can go or not, and then things like that. So keeping that everything in mind, and food wise, if I go to the restaurant, I follow a vegetarian diet. So if I find something interesting, and whether the restaurant is serving the vegetarian food or not, so basically I try to share that what exactly I had, and whether the restaurant is willing to make the change in the recipe to make the dish that I would like to make it based on the keeping something out and then adding something in, so things like that. So yeah, it's helpful for me, and so I'm trying to be helpful to the others.
Excellent. So maybe we can pull one of these reviews up and read it, and I'd be really interested to read for everyone and see what we got. So do we just go to google.com? Can we go there and start it, or do we need to search a certain place maybe? Do we search the name of the place?
I don't know. You can search IBU Public House.
Okay, let's try IBU. IBU Public House. I guess you have to go to the map probably for the reviews, right?
Right.
Or they're over here. Okay, so what do we got? Let's see if we can find Maitrik Patel's review of the IBU Public House here in Beaverton. And let's see what we have. 535 reviews. However, are we going to find yours? Let's see here. Well, how do we search reviews?
I don't know. There?
Ah, there we are. Do you usually go under Maitrik? What's your
I
pseudonym?
think so, yeah. No reviews, so.
False advertisement. Oh, man.
Searching Google in Google.
Google reviews. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having a little bit of difficulty finding his reviews. Perhaps they don't exist. It seems he doesn't exist. Oh my goodness. How do we find you? They don't even
I think
exist.
that,
Oh my goodness. It's awesome. Was it feeling of force?
I think you got it. You got it.
Oh, snap! We found it! Okay, Maitrik Patel, we found your
Local
main...
guy.
Oh, he's a contributor. Wait, let's see what we got here. Come on. Load. Oh, Palouse Falls State Park. Okay, so this is what we found, which we thought was really
Those
interesting.
are photos and those are reviews. So
It's got a photo of him, as
No,
you can see.
whatever the photos that I uploaded, it's on under the photos.
Oh, yeah.
And the
246
reviews
photos,
are-
12,877 views. That's more views than my whole channel. I'm not even worthy. It's pretty cool. Oh, there's the IBU one.
Yeah.
So let's click the IB one and see what Maitrik has to say. I think this is pretty cool. All right.
But yeah, I think I had a whole recipe of the sandwich over there for the veggie, made of pickle, veggie, sprout, hummus, and mayo. Definitely something different and unique that I haven't had before. So yeah, I liked it, loved it, and the beer was good too.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I wrote.
I have
So,
been there. It seems like a reasonable review. I'd say it's a 4 to 5 star establishment, and Maitrik must have had a good veggie sandwich there. And I can't say that I would know what the veggie sandwich tastes like, but he's probably an expert,
well, you
knowledgeable.
know, it just doesn't have meat.
Fair. I mean, that means the last bite that I have probably tastes the same as all your bites.
Yeah.
Because the patty's probably slipped out of the bun.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, that's an actually interesting point. Maybe my first and last bite are kind of like all your bites. I mean, sometimes they have the oversized buns, so you got the,
They do, yeah.
the meat in the middle. It's you're like, oh, where's the meat? So I now know what it's like to be a
To be
vegetarian.
vegetarian, yeah.
Wow.
Your first and last bite is vegetarian.
I should make a quote out of that. A meat eater's first and last bite are the same as a vegetarian's. T-shirt. We can make a T-shirt. Or maybe work on the phrasing to be perfect. But hey, so is there a particular review that you think we could find now that we're inside of your thing now? Is there a place that you remember the most about reviewing?
Well, no, I mean, so the main thing about the review is basically, trying to be helpful to the other travelers, people who go out and or doing the similar or same thing that somebody has already done before. One of the review coming in my mind is basically we went to the Newport beach on the Oregon coast, and we stayed in
Beautiful
one
place.
of the hotel is the Waves Hotel.
Oh, I've
and,
seen that. Yeah, right on the edge, right?
So yeah. So it's the good thing. So the one thing I learned about after going and staying at their hotel is that if you stay on the third floor, you get the view of the ocean right from your window. So that's something that I didn't know before. So it's something I wrote in the review that when you go check in you already know about the if you can ask for the third floor room, and if you get it, then you get a good view. So things like that, just
That's
trying
pretty
to be
cool.
helpful to the others. And
Yeah, I would have thought that almost any room would have a good view, but the third floor sounds like the secret place to be.
yeah.
Now everyone knows, and now there'll never be a vacancy. So you're actually contributing to people's downfall. I don't know. I'm just kidding. That's actually pretty cool. We do look at reviews. I think most people nowadays will pull up a review for something. I don't think I've ever stopped to think who are the people who actually do reviews. And I always thought the people who have time for reviews, maybe they're angry. First of all, either angry or just an ecstatic experience, and maybe there are people like you. And when I talked to you about it first, I was like, oh, you just do it. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's one thing, people tend to write a lot when they don't like something. So that's kind of a natural, and that you just wanted to tell everyone, or at least to the owner, that you didn't like that thing, and it's kind of getting the anger out. I normally don't do that. If something I don't like, it's kind of the negative or a constructive criticism that is not something being given on the public platform or on the social media. So that's something, if you want to tell something to the owner, you tell one-on-one or behind the closed door, or basically it doesn't have to be recorded online. So and then also when we find something good, or the recipe or the plate or the dish that we had, or the place that we visit. So if something is good, we remember that for that moment or for that day or for a while, but then after a while we tend to forget. So it's a good way to tell someone that yeah, you like that thing, and then it's a good memory for yourself after a while, after a few years. So, if you want to go back and then look at your feeling, what you thought about those things, and also at the same time to be helpful to the others. But yeah, the main thing is about being helpful to the others in a similar situation, people who can relate to you, people with the family, people with the kids, and people following certain diet, or people in a certain situation that's kind of a unique, and kind of if you have something to help, then why not?
My wife and I, when we went on our 10-year anniversary trip, there was a couple places that we were trying to make sure we put in a review, because some of the newer generation of owners of some of these places, they actually ask you can you put in a review and all that stuff, because a lot of people just, they come in, come out, and as long as you had a good experience, it's better for them to have the higher view rating count. It means that they've been established, they've been around longer. They like to see good ratings, obviously, but they're just ratings. And if they know that they provide good service, if people are rating them, it's usually going to be 4 or 5 stars. And it's not going to hurt them to have a 4-star rating, especially when their rating count is high.
Right.
So I think everyone finds them pretty helpful. I didn't know anybody who actively does it. So when I found out, like I said, we stumbled upon Maitrik reviews, and we're like, what? That's what? Maitrik down the hall? Yeah, it's pretty cool. And so, yeah, it's pretty neat. We do, as I think a nation, people, we appreciate people like you who are willing to be dedicated and do it. I think we should all do a little bit more. especially
why not?
when we have something good to say.
And you mentioned one good thing about people nowadays don't have a time to do it, and they, even though they want to do it, they don't get the time to do it, and that's something that I don't do that thing every day on a daily basis, but basically I gather the information and I gather the data. I keep the data with me in terms of the pictures and things, and then once a month or something, when I'm traveling or when I'm basically riding a car and somebody else is driving, or riding Uber or something, that's when I do those kind of things. So basically utilizing my time when I'm not doing anything productive. So I find a way to be productive by doing this thing
And contribute to society.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any particular recommendations in the area for good Indian food?
Indian food is that's my weakness.
That's your weakness? Is it? Do you like to go out to eat Indian food, or you prefer the home cooked goodness?
I prefer home cooked Indian food most of the time. So but yeah, there are a couple of restaurants here. Although I haven't rated. I think I rated one of them, but I haven't been to the many of them either.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I have been to the many of them, but I normally don't tend to like the Indian food outside in the restaurant, so I haven't rated any of them. But yeah, there is one place that's called Chennai Masala in Hillsborough.
Oh, it's Hillsborough. I think I've been to
Yeah.
that place once.
So that's a good one. Yeah, if
Okay.
you want to try that. Anything else?
You need to have me over, and I want some of this good food. I actually was like, I was remembering and like harkening back to this delicious meal that a really good Punjabi friend of mine taught me how to make, and he made for me several times back in college days. It was so good. He gave me the name. I was asking about what the name was. Maybe you have heard of it. Let's see here. It's so good. It is called. Oh yes, maybe aloo rasa. I don't know. You familiar?
Aloo rasa.
Aloo
Yeah,
rasa.
it's like the potato curry.
Oh, so good.
Was it potato
You
curry?
have to I don't know. You have to it has potato and everything, but you have to simmer it for a really long time, and it is amazing. So I'm inviting myself to eat some at your house.
I already did that, so you're most welcome, Brian, anytime.
Folks, we got to keep a little bit of joking on this show. This is called the Brian teaser. I mean, we're not all serious here.
Oh yeah.
But we try to be occasionally. Thank you so much for having. Sorry. Thank you for joining me on the Brian teaser, Maitrik. Thank you for agreeing to come out and record this episode with me. I hope you've enjoyed it.
My pleasure. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I had fun time, and we talked about good things. So thank you for inviting me.
Well, you're welcome. And I think we should recommend everyone go out and do one review in the next week.
Yeah.
And just start that. I mean, that's just I'm not even the guy who does these reviews, but I feel like a little bit inspired here. Like if I can say, hey, if Maitrik can do it, and he does it on a regular basis, keeps track of it and kind of goes back and does it when he has free time. Let's try for one. If we could get every viewer on this show to do one review in the next week, that'd be like at least 10 reviews.
Yeah.
I don't know how many viewers. That's kind of sad, right? I couldn't say that's 1 million, because maybe someday, hey, maybe it'll be like we'll do a rerun of this someday when I have like 1 million subscribers, and I'll be like, all right, now I'll go back and do a review, and then boom, that week could be like 1 million reviews. But this week, let's make it 10.
It's the social obligation kind of.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Way. Yeah.
Well, thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the Brian teaser. Have a wonderful day. Oh.